Video. Hey, what's up? Another video. So we're going to continue with the project we had from last time, and the project is the following. I'll show you over here. Open up. So this is what we got. This is what we need to have. Okay, and we're working towards it. It's looking good for the moment. So we've placed the image, we've placed this tick, and we've placed these letters. So I've sort of taken the time to find a font that sort of matches the font that we have here, behind this these trainers, and it's called Rubik. Okay, if you go to Google Fonts, you can just type in. I'm going to show you what to do. Just type in Rubik here, up here. Type in Rubik. Select this one. Okay, and I'm going to select one of the bolder options. So 500, I think, is a decent one. So I'm going to select this one. You can select 700 if you want as well. We can try them out, and 600. Those are the ones I'm going to select, so I'm just going to go ahead and copy this part into the header of my HTML file. Okay, paste that in. Oh, I pressed copy again. That was a mistake. So over here, copy this and paste it in. Cool. We got that. Nice. And now we can use the style. I'm gonna use the style for okay, so let's go back here and let's go font family, select this. I'm not sure what the difference over here is. I don't know why it's offering us pop-ins, because we have pop-ins selected as well. I have pop-ins selected also. Just choose the font family Rubik one, this one. Go back to your HTML CSS, and we're going to place it for this p tag, so product image p tag. So we're going to go down to product image p tag, and we're just going to place it under here. Okay, and save that. Cool. So this, our text, should have a different style now. Okay, it's tiny, okay, but it should have that different style. And if you want, we can make this text much bigger. I don't know why 4REM is making this text so small. I think we must have selected something incorrectly, and we selected product name, which isn't the selection we want there. Yes it is, sorry, it is. But this one, this class is for, this is strange. Okay. Alright, we don't need this anymore. Actually, we do need this. That's actually the product name. Let's keep that as it is. Alright, so that's actually this one up here. It's 4REM, that's correct. And for this style, so for this actual text, we'll need a different font. Okay, so that's not the text we want to select. We want to select not product name. Okay, so let's cancel that. Go back. Alright, we want to go down to the actual product card, product image, and inside the product image we have another p tag. Okay, so we can say product image p tag, like so, product image and p tag, like this. Okay, brackets, and we can paste it in here. Right? And we can give the font size, let's say, I'm going to say 10REM because it's actually huge. Okay, the font size of this is actually huge, and we're going to give the parent, so we're going to give product image an overlay of hidden, so that I'm going to show you what happens if we don't give it an overlay of hidden. So font size 10REM, font family Rubik, and we're going to say color gray. Okay, because it has like a grayish color. So we've got a gray, and make it just a little bit less gray. Like, I think this is a cool gray. This is gonna match well, I think. If it doesn't, we'll adjust. That's cool. So font size and font weight as well. I'm gonna give it a font weight of 600. Right. It's one of the font weights we selected up here. Right. We selected 200. So we selected 400, 500, 600. We selected pop-ins here as well, didn't we? That's a mistake. So it's from the, you can take from the and up to the question mark. You can actually delete all that, okay, because we already have, well, actually it's fine, because we might need pop-ins, we might not need pop-ins. Anyway, just delete that, okay. let's keep it like so. And if we add any new fonts after, we can just copy the whole link tag for it, right? But yeah, it is what it's the same if you don't do it, so it's all good. Let's refresh this to see the change. Nice. Okay, we're gonna need a bigger Yeezy. All right, we don't have to make it maybe 20 rem, right, to have it overflow. Let's see what that looks like. That's a good Yeezy. That's a good Yeezy. Nice. Okay, so now what we're gonna do actually is we're gonna place this in the center. Right, so we're going to place this p tag in the center, and for that we need to go to the image container. We need to say display flex, justify content center, and align items center, like so. Okay, and that's going to place it in the middle, or I think it is. All right, so we're going to make this. Okay, pause a moment. Okay, the little issue we had has a very quick fix. Alright, and the quick fix is to the p tag you add white space no wrap, okay, and now it's completely centered in the middle and it actually goes past, right? So we want to get the y kind of at the beginning here, okay, kind of at the start, so we see the y. Alright, so to do that we're just going to push this to the right, okay, and to do that we can just add padding, really, right? So we can say we can add a padding, or we can maybe we say top, so sorry, left, let's say 0 rem, okay, or just 0. Let's see what that does. Okay, yeah, it won't because it's display flex, so we're going to give it a padding. All right, we're going to give this p tag a padding of left, so padding left, not just 4 rem. See what that looks like. All right, save that and see where it goes. Goes absolutely nowhere. Let's say a bit more then. Let's exaggerate it to see if this is actually working, because it might not be working. Let's say 40 rem. Alright, yes, it is working. Okay, it is pushing our Yeezy. So let's say 20 rem, half of that. Okay, see where that puts the y, and let's put a bit more. Okay, to get the y where we want it. Let's say 30 rem, and that's about it. That's quite accurate. Okay, so that's quite accurate to where that y is. All right, let's just maybe a little bit less, just to be nitpicky. Let's say 28 rem. All right, and bam. Okay, that's pretty accurate. Just I want to get that y. I'm going to say 26 rem. All right, it's probably going to be 25 or 26 is going to do the job. Yeah, it's going to do the job, right? That because this y is kind of like overlaying here. You see over here we've got the y kind of like overlaying it that way. Cool, nice. So this is good enough. This is good enough. We might need to make the y a bit larger, but for now, so we might need to make this text a little bit larger. For now, I think it's quite accurate. Okay, and I think we might not have to touch it, right? I think it's quite accurate. This grey though is a little bit darker, so we're going to go here and just darken it a little bit, right? Go here and darken it down a little bit, so up to here. I think that's going to be more accurate, right? We could just copy the actual grey, right? But we might do that later on. Cool, so we've got the Yeezy there, and how do we make it so that we don't see this overlay? Okay, it's called overflow, all right? So we're going to go to the parent. We're going to go to the container of this p tag, which is product image. All right, we're going to go up here. And we're going to say overflow hidden. Overflow hidden. All right, and that should hide it. That should put it. That should put it away. Okay, and now we have that Yeez. Right. Cool. Nice. Cool. You see, these letters are a bit sharper. Okay, so maybe we have to find a different font that's a bit sharper on the caps. Right, so this one's, you see this one has a bit of rounded edges, so it's not exactly the same as the ninth one. So you could do a bit of digging to find a better font, but we're going to work with this one because that's the one we got. We're not going to spend too much time on actually finding a good font. This, if you notice, this card is actually a bit, it's actually quite a bit slimmer in width, right? So we can adjust that up here in page content container. If you go to page content container, page content container. We can say width, we can say like 70%. Let's see what that looks like. All right, and we can adjust that. Cool. All right, so that's a bit thinner, and it's a bit closer to this. All right, it's still a bit wide, but we can definitely adjust that later on and make some final tweaks. Okay, cool, nice. So we got a good thing going. All right, now let's style this this trainer. We need to make it bigger. Okay, we need to make it take up more space inside of the container. All right, so to do that, and if you notice, this Y is being pushed outside a bit, so we will deal with that later on. But for now, we're just going to deal with the trainer. Okay, so we're going to go to the shoe selector, which we have over. Is it this? This is the shoe, I think. This is the shoe image. So product image, and the first one. This is the logo, and this is the shoe. There we go. It says shoe. Yeah. So the second image, which we selected up here, we said the nth child of the product image, the third child of the product image. Okay, which is an image as well. We could have just said this. This would have been fine. I think we're going to check, but I think that should be fine. Okay, no. Forget that. Don't change that. Okay. We do need to add the image to select it. Okay. So yeah, so we're going to make this image a bit bigger. So it's, instead of being 20 rem, we're going to make it 40 rem height, and that's a little bit too big. Okay. Actually, in size, I think it's a bit too big. Okay, so let's say 30 rem. All right, let's save that. Okay, looks good, I think. And now what we're going to do is just okay, I think we've got the right size, but we need to make the container a little bit slimmer. So we're going to go up to the page container. Instead of saying 70, we're going to say 60. All right, let's see what that looks like. Okay, that looks better. And now the problem is we've got an overflow of hidden here. So we're just going to add a Z index to this shoe to make it stand out. So a Z index is basically a layer. And I'm not sure if you've used Photoshop ever, but it's just layers over layers. So you can imagine CSS, like the things we put on CSS, as putting them on layers. So when you, for example, use a Word document and you put you tell an image to go in front of text, right? You're actually creating a layer over the text, right? So this is what we're doing with Z index as well. We're creating a layer over the text. So let's try a Z index. Let's say Z index. It has to be a higher number than the container. So let's say 100, and let's see if that works. And it doesn't, because it's because we said overlay hidden. Okay, so that's the issue here. Even though it's absolute, we said overlay hidden. Okay, so a lot of programming is gonna be like this. You have to search for things. So the solution I found is this was absolute before. Okay, this was position absolute, and if we go to position absolute, it actually won't let us sort of overlay. Position fixed is relative to the viewport. Okay, so if we say position fixed, it's going to become fixed relative to the viewport. But right now we're saying that we want top 50% and transform 50%. So it's literally in the center of the viewport. We don't want this. Okay, we want to tell CSS that we want this piece aligned to the center of the parent. Right. So instead of the viewport, we're going to say text align center, and this is going to give us a perfect center alignment. Bam, and that's exactly what we want. All right. So yeah, this is how to do it. That's how to do this. Okay. So that is that for the shoe. We just need to style the Nike tick now, which is this image. We're just going to make this bigger then. We're going to give it actually a top of I don't know, let's say 2 rem, right, and a left of 2 rem as well, so it's equal, right? 2 rem. Okay, and I think that's going to be enough to position it. Okay, I think that's well positioned. We're just going to make it a bit bigger. So we're going to say height, instead of being 2 rem, we're going to say 4 rem double. See what that looks like. If it's too big, that's way too big. Let's say 3. Okay, so let's go to here and say 3. See what that looks like. And that looks maybe the color isn't perfect of this tick. Okay, but I mean we're working with the resources we have. If you were to do a professional project, then you'd probably have the right Nike tick. Okay, but in this case we don't. So yeah. that is satisfactory. I'm happy with that. I'm very happy with that. Cool. So now let's work on the second part, all right, which is the product section. Okay, this is a bit more of a tedious part because we have like titles, etc. But we have to do it anyway. Okay, so programming isn't always like extremely fun, right? So we have to do these tedious things as well. So first of all, we're going to make a container for this, and we're going to center it. All right, so this container is going to have a bit of a margin, a bit of a. It's just going to have less height and less width. Okay, so we can give it that appearance of margin, all right, or padding, or whatever you want to call it. So for that, we're going to make a container inside this product description. Okay, and we're going to call it like text or content container. Okay, content. So dot. Okay, because it's a class. Content container, like so. All right, bam. And we're going to format that, and we're going to give it a bit of a height and a width. Okay, so let's say content container is going to be height 80% and width 80% as well. Okay, let's see what that looks like. We're going to give it a border as well so we can see what's happening. All right, so border, it's going to be 1 pixel, solid black. All right, like so. Cool. So what do we have? We have nothing. Awesome. Content container. What did we do wrong here? Content container. Is this correct? Let's just copy it and paste it to make sure we're not making a mistake here. Copy and paste it. Boom. Save and save. Maybe it's because we didn't save the HTML, and it is because we didn't save the HTML. Cool. That's good news. So let's go to the product description and let's say display flex now. Okay, to center that that container. So let's say display flex. Justify. So let's say justify content center. Yes. And align items center as well, like so. Okay, cool. So look what we got. Nice. Does that look like what we want? Yeah, it's pretty close. It's pretty close. So now let's start with the text. So we have what do we have here? We have one container here for the text and the subtext. Okay, so we're going to do that first. So we have title. Okay, let's say title. Just title. Okay, here we're going to have an H1 that says Yeezy 2 Red October. Okay, so Yeezy 2 Red October, which is I think it's meant to be October, but they just spelled it wrong. And we're going to have like a subtext, which is going to be like an H2, and it has a subtext of Nike Air Yeezy. Okay, so Nike Air Yeezy, like so. Right, cool, nice. So I think we want to just use that same. We're just going to use that same text. Yeah, we're going to use that Rubik or Robic or whatever it was called. We're just going to give it to the whole HTML. So we're going to go and find that p tag over here. Okay, that font family Rubik. We're just going to cut it, right, and paste it into the whole HTML up here, up at the top. Just going to paste it here. All right, bam, and it's going to give it. It's going to give the whole HTML the same text, okay, and the same font style, we could say. All right, so this Yeezy 2 actually needs a font weight of way less, as you can see. All right, so we can just go up. I think we selected. Nope, this isn't it. We selected. What did we select? Okay, over here. We didn't select the smaller ones. Okay, so let's just go. Not remove that. Get it. I'm gonna get this one too. Yeah, all of the different weights. Okay, this one's the one we're probably going to use, 300. And I'm just going to copy this without the. I'm going to deselect because I have. If I go down here, I have Poppins selected as well. So I'm just going to take Poppins off because I don't need that. All right, and I'm going to copy the whole Rubik link here. Okay, so up here, I'm just going to copy it over the one that I copied before. I'm just going to paste it in here. Replace it. All right, and now for the what is it? The product card, the product name, right? So for the product name, for the p tag, we can say font size, yeah, 4 rem, but font weight is going to be 300. Font weight is going to be 300. Okay, and that's going to give us a way smoother, easy. Okay, that's way closer to this. All right, nice, cool. That's done. Nice. So we got this container. We're going to actually make it a container. We're going to make it a box so you can see. So content container, yeah. Title. Okay, so title. I'm going to give it a border. Right, a border of 1 pixel solid black, like this one. Copy it and paste it. Save it. Format it. Okay, nice. And there we see we have a little bit of a border. Cool. Next part. What is it? It's the stars. All right, so we can literally just use for this. We're just going to say rating. Okay, that's what we're going to call this div. So this div is going to be called rating, like so. All right, and we're going to put just 5 I tags there. These I tags we're going to find in Font Awesome. All right, so we're going to go to Font Awesome, awesome.com, and we're going to find a star icon. So we're going to go here. This is all obviously improvised. Nothing is planned. So whatever we find, we find. I like this star more for rating. I hope it's. I'm going to just write free. Okay, this one we get. We don't really get to choose. Okay, so choose this one, copy it. All right, we're just going to put 5. We're just going to copy 5 of them in here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, and let's see what we got. Did we add the? We haven't added the Font Awesome here to the header. The kit. We need to go to the kit. Our kit. If you don't have a kit, sign up for Font Awesome, and you'll find your kit. If you go to your profile, you just go to kits up here. You can go to click on this one, copy kit code, go back to your HTML, and literally just paste it here. Okay, paste it in the header, save it, and we should have 5 stars now. All right, let's go here. We have 5 stars. Cool. Nice. So we're going to give these 5 stars a bit of a red color too. We can give them a bit of spacing by using margin. All right, so we can actually. We only need to give margin to 3 in the middle. Okay, so we can say, to do that, we can just say, we can just select these 3, or we can just say, we can give it a class of star middle, like this. It's a better way to do it. So we can give it a class of star middle to these 3, all right, like so, star middle, and star middle, and we can just tell it. So this is the title. Now we're going to go to rating. All right, I'm going to go to star middle. We don't have to select it in this way, but I like to do it because it shows a hierarchy between star rating and star middle, right? So that's why I do it this way. So we're going to say padding. Top and bottom is going to be 0, and left and right is going to be, let's say, 1 rem. Okay, and we'll adjust accordingly. All right, we'll see what that looks like, and if it doesn't look good, we can change it. It's fine. Okay. Okay. So this is a mistake. Why is this a mistake? Because here we have left padding and right padding, left padding and right padding, so it's double here. All right, so we don't want that. So for that, to change that, we're just going to say. Okay, we're just going to add a star. Instead of calling it star middle, we're just going to say star padding. All right, and we're just going to give it to the. Okay, so padding like this. We're going to add it to this one too. Okay, star padding, and that should solve our issue. Instead of middle, we say padding, and now we just say padding left, right, like so, and we just say 1 rem, and that should solve this issue. Okay, so if we go here, bam. Okay, we have nicely spaced stars in their own div, which is cool as well. So if we actually go to rating. If we actually go to the div rating and add a border of 1 pixel solid black, we'll see where this is placed. Alright, so that we'll see that it's here, right underneath. Cool. And what do we need to do with this? Well, for now, we're going to leave it as such. Right, we're going to make the stars just a tad bit bigger. Okay, so we're going to say font size. Font size. Let's say 1 rem is going to be way too big, I think, but let's see. 1 rem, that's fine. Okay, we can say 1.3 rem then. All right, let's see what that looks like. That's 13 pixels. And that looks okay, yeah. The problem is we've only selected the star padding stars. So to select all of the stars, we can say rating I, all right, and we can put this font size in here. Okay, so we can cut this and put it in here, and that will select all of the stars. Okay, so we also need to give these stars that reddish color, so we can actually go up here to where we gave that reddish color to the background, copy it, and just say paste it in here, and we just need to say color, okay, because that's the color of the actual I tag. All right, so now if we go to the I tag, to the top project, we can see the stars are well styled now. Cool. So next part, we need to go to the description. We're going to give these, so this is going to be a little bit of a list. Okay, so this is going to be its own section. So this description section is going to be its own section. So we're going to make a div for this, right? And this div is going to be called tab div. Okay, so tab I don't know, tab area, right? Let's just call it that. And this tab area is going to have a first div, which are going to be the tabs, right? And a second div, which is going to be the text. Okay, so tab text, like so. Bam. All right. And the tabs are going to have 5 tabs. So we can use a list. Okay, so we can say unordered list, and we can give. They're going to have links, maybe. So description, detail, reviews, and size and fit. Description, details, reviews. Right, so so description. Let's copy this. Details, reviews, and size and fit. Okay, so details, reviews, and size and fit. All right, and that thing that has a space yet between the and here. Okay, cool, nice. All right, so we got this. Let's just go to tabs. We can say tabs, tab area. We can say it like this, or just tabs. Okay, I just like to do it this way, so I know in relation like what the parent of each of these classes is. So we have the tab area, nice. Now we need the tab text as well. Okay, so we can say tab area, tab text. Okay, all right, nice, cool. And this tab text is going to have a text. I don't know. We're just going to give it lorem ipsum. Okay, let's say lorem ipsum. Let's say 30. All right, let's give it a bit of a text. Let's see what we've got. Bam, cool. So these list elements, we're going to put them. We're going to display flex them horizontally. All right, and to do that, we need to go back to here. Okay, we need to go back to tabs UL. Okay, so this we need to give this UL a display flex, and to do that, we're going to go to here tabs, right, UL. Okay, and here inside here we're going to say display flex, justify content center, and align items center to, like so. Okay, and we are going to see that their display flex. Cool. So now we need to take that ugly dot away. Right, and to do that, we're just going to copy this. Alright, it's actually kind of hard to read. Adding too much hierarchy is bad. Okay, you could just say, like, if you wanted to add hierarchy, you could just style the tab area. So give the tab area a style. This is what I actually tend to do more often than not. I just go tab area, right? Give this a style, and then I know that everything inside here, everything inside rating, right? So you don't need to add this. Okay, so everything under rating is going to be in the hierarchy of rating, basically. And if you need to select anything specific to rating, you just say rating, and then, for example, the I tag, right? So over here, rating each I tag, right? So for tab area, we're going to do the same. Okay, tab. We're going to just select the tabs UL, like so. I'm going to leave this one open because we'll have to use it later to give height to the tab area and space things out better. So here we're going to just go to the tab UL and the LI. Okay, like so. We do need to do this. Okay, this is important. We do. So we can't just say like UL and LI because we need a specific UL, the UL that's inside tabs. I mean, there's only one UL in the document, so it would work for this case, but we need to be specific in terms. This is important that we specify it basically. So this UL has effects, cool, yeah, and then each LI tag needs a list style of none, okay, to delete that ugly dot, right, that we saw there. Cool, nice, and we're just gonna give it a space. I think there's a space between what it has. Let's see, yeah, space between, okay. So over here, we're gonna say justify content space between, all right, and align items center, yeah, that's fine. Okay, and it should give us, yeah, that's what we're looking for. Cool, nice. So what else do we need to do here? We need to actually make these, make this text, we need to make it caps, okay, so let's just say description, okay, details and reviews, size and fit. Okay, cool. So bam, we have the text in caps. Let's add an underline, a bottom border to this text, okay, and a little red color to it. Okay, so let's copy this color, and we're just going to add this to the first li. All right, so we're going to say tabs ul li nth child, okay, and we're going to say 1. I'm going to give color of this and border bottom of 1 pixel solid and the same color. Okay. All right, save that. Cool. We have an error here. Okay, because we added the actual color. Right, we don't need to add that. We don't need to add the actual property. Okay, cool, nice. So we have it selected there, and we're going to give this text, the li text, we're going to give it a font weight of just a bit more. So we're going to say 500. Okay, let's see what that looks like. That should look pretty decent, and it just gives it that extra oomph, right? We're going to say 600, just to be a bit picky. 600, and let's see what we got. Cool. All right, I'm satisfied with that. I'm happy. I'm happy with that. Nice. I could give that also that border a little bit more. All right, so we can say 5 pixels. That's going to be a bit too much, maybe. Yeah, way too much. 2 pixels, right? That's going to be cool. Nice. All right, that's enough. Cool. So we can actually space this around a little bit by giving this a bit of padding. All right, so we can give this top one. We can say, where is the rating? Nice, over here, yeah, the i-tags. Let's just give the rating here a bit of padding. So let's say padding top and bottom. Okay, so we're going to say padding top. What was the padding for the... okay, we don't need to give any padding left or right, all right? So padding top and bottom is going to be 2 rem, and the padding left and right is going to be 0. Hopefully that doesn't affect any of the styles we had previously. That is cool, nice. So the actual padding is too much, just give 1 rem. I think that's enough, nice, and it gives us a bit of space for the description, nice, and this part here, cool. And the description I think needs a bit of a padding bottom here, as you can see. All right, so we're going to add that too. So we're going to go down to the actual li tags, and we're going to give them a padding. Actually, not to the li tags. We're going to give it to the ul. Okay, because if we give it to the li tags, that's going to mean that this border we gave, is actually going to get pushed down. We don't want that to happen. We might want to push it down a little tiny weeny bit, but what we actually need to push down is this text, okay, and not the border. So we need to go to the ul, right? And for that, we're just going to say here, we're going to say padding bottom. I'm going to say 1 rem as well, all right? Let's see what that looks like. That's cool. Okay, let's push it down a bit. We can make this text a bit bigger too. it should be the same size as this, actually a bit bigger than this text. So if this text is, I'm not sure we even gave it, we didn't give it a, we can give it a size, font size 1 rem, okay, and then we can adjust accordingly for the, it's going to be 1 rem anyway, that's the default, okay, so let's say 1.2, see what that changes, makes it a bit bigger, okay, maybe it's a bit too big in relation to the actual, let's make it 11, right, so 11 pixels, 1.1 rem. Alright, cool, I'm happy with that. And let's say that the description tag, so the tab text, okay, tab area, tab text, yeah, this is under tab area anyway, so we know it's tab text, so we know what tab text is. We're going to say font size 1.3, okay, 1.3 rem, and the color of the text is going to be the same as this color here, that grey color. Right, and that color was, where was it? Let's see, easy, p tag, product image, right? So product image, the p tag, it's this one here. So we can say, we can copy this, right, and go down here and paste it into the text, okay, the tab text. All right, and that gives us this color. Right, so it's closer to what we have here. All right, I think it's a dark color, so we'll have to style that later. But yeah, looking good. So now we're going to style this section here, which is the color and the size. Okay, it's going to be a div of its own. So to do that, we're going to go and make another div. All right, so under this tabs div, which is this. Okay, under this tabs text div, sorry. We are going to add a new div that's going to be called selection area. So select area, okay, just a random name, not anything that you can probably think of a better one. So yeah, it has a header, so header 1 and a header 1, and a little div here that we're going to style as well. So we have a header 1, it says color, okay, we have a div that we're going to style. It's just we're going to call it, we're going to give it a class of color pick, and we have an h2 and that says size and an input area, okay, so input like so. Alright, for text I guess, yeah, I think it's an input area. It hasn't specified it, but I do think it is an input area, so that's what we're going to leave it as. Cool. And then we have the buttons down here, but we're going to style this first. Okay, cool. So this is black text, completely black text. Let's see what we have so far here then. We have nothing. Alright, why do we have nothing? Did we do something wrong? Maybe because we didn't save the HTML. That is exactly why. Cool. So we have an H1. Why did I change? I don't know why I said H2 here. We could actually say just two H2s, okay? Because actually, no, that's not a good idea. For accessibility purposes, it should be a p tag, not an H2, because H2s and H1s are picked up by SEO, and that's not a good idea. So we're going to style these p tags. I'm going to have to make them bigger because the default text for p tags is quite small, as you can see. All right, and that div actually has no height, so we're going to say select area, all right, just in case we need to style it later, and we're going to say color pick, right, color pick. I'm going to give that going to have a size of, let's say, a height of like 5 rem. Well, that's 50 pixels, no way. 0.5 rem, okay, so that's 5 pixels, and a width of the same, a width of 0.5 rem, okay, and the border radius is going to be 50% to make it a circle, and the color is going to be this one, okay, red. Color, whole thing. The color is going to be red, like so. Cool. All right, let's see what we got. Refresh this. We've got nothing. Did we do this right? Did we save everything? Let's see, height 0.5 rem. Up here we have the color pick. We have the class. Everything should be good. Why isn't it showing? That is a question I would like to know too. Well, I'd like to have an answer for that question, but I do not. So let's see, color pick, height 0.5 rem. Let's make this a bit bigger. Right, let's make it 5 rem, which is crazy big for this circle. It's 50 pixels. And it does appear there's something there, but do you know why? Because we said color, we didn't say background color. Okay, we supposed it was text, but it's not text, it's a div. Right, so we have to say background color. Now we're gonna have a fat ass red circle there. Okay, we don't want that. We just want a smaller one. So we're gonna say 0.5 and 0.5. Okay, and let's hope that's the right size. That's way too small. Okay, so let's just say 1 rem. Make it double. 1 rem and 1 rem. Okay, and what does that look like? Okay, I'm not satisfied still. I'm going to say 2 rem. 2 rem. I'm going to go double again. Alright, double or nothing. Alright, bam, that's way too big. Let's say 1.5 now. Alright, so you adjust accordingly. Cool. Nice, I'm happy with that. Cool. So, we might actually have to make it big again. You see, it's got a little bit of a gradient. We can try a gradient. So give me a second. I'm going to come back with an answer. Okay, so I'm going to walk you through how I'm implementing this. So I think it's better that you see actually how I do it. So I say color gradient CSS, right? So I go to the first option, and you can see the different color gradients you have. We want a top to bottom one, right? Because if we check our sort of circle here, it's a top to bottom gradient. So we're going to go to top to bottom, right? And we're going to see how they style it. They just say background image, linear gradient from red to yellow. Okay, so we're going to copy this. I'm just copy it, right? I'm going to paste it into here, right? So background image, okay, should be like so. Now I'm going to say white to this color. Okay, we might actually need to make that white a little bit darker, right? But okay, cool. So let's see what we got on our circle. All right, and we're gonna have to make that white darker. We're gonna have to make it redder actually. So if we go to this white, now we can actually make it like a bit like this. Okay, like redder. Right, and let's see what that looks like. That looks pretty close to the original. What do you think? Okay, so maybe we can even make it a bit darker. Right, so we can go to this red and get it a bit closer to here, maybe. All right, save that, and it'll be a more subtle gradient. Okay, but it doesn't look like a solid red now. It has a bit of a kind of shadow, a bit of a glow to it, right? Yeah, so that's how you would do this. Okay, that's how you would do this gradient. Cool. So you have a bit of a gradient there now, and now the only thing we need to do is space these out a bit. So we're actually going to give this text a padding of bottom. Okay, so we're going to go to tab text over here. All right, I'm going to say we gave the ULs a padding of bottom, so we're going to give this a padding of bottom too. Right, of 1 rem. Just copy and paste that. Gave it a bit of spacing here, nice, which is equal to the spacing up here. Keep things consistent, if I can speak. Nice. So we're going to give that color a bit more. So if you notice, it's not pushed out. It's good. It's good. Okay, I'm happy with that. So now we're just going to give this text more weight and a bit more height as well, and a bit more size. Okay, so to do that, we have to select the actual p tags. Okay, so we're just going to go select area p. Right. So select area p tags, and it's going to select all of the p tags. Okay, and for this we're going to say font size. Let's say 1.5 rem. Let's see what that looks like, to keep consistent with the color pick circle as well. And we're going to say font weight 500. Let's see what that looks like. Okay, let's go back here. This is color and the size, and compared to this, it's a bit too big. All right, so we're going to say 1.3 for the text. Okay, 1.3 and 1. That's fine. 1.3. Okay, cool. All right, and I think this text is quite close to this one, quite close. So we're going to leave it at that, and we're going to just add a bit of a margin between everything. We're just going to add a margin of 1 pixel, I think, there as well. Yeah, just one pixel. Sorry, 1 rem, 10 pixels. Okay, so we're gonna add a margin bottom to all the elements inside select area. Okay, so yeah, to do that, okay, we're actually gonna have to go element by element. I don't see another way we can do this. So we're gonna say padding bottom, right, 1 rem. Okay, and we're gonna say for the div area, okay, the div is below the p tags. Okay, so we're going to say for the div for the color pick. Okay, we're also going to say padding bottom 1 rem, like so. All right, and then we need to style that input area anyway. So because we have to do that, we're going to say select area input. We're going to just copy this padding bottom, okay, into here. All right, and that's going to give us a nice separation between all of the elements. Okay, except the color pick didn't want to. Why? Why is that so? Why didn't we get a padding bottom here? Okay, that's something we have to figure out. So why didn't we get a padding bottom here, and why did we get a padding bottom on everything else? That's something we have to figure out. Because maybe the div, okay, I know why. Because, well, it should make the div a bit bigger, but okay, the div doesn't have text inside. The div is just a div. Okay, so we're not adding extra. So we're gonna have to add a margin instead of a padding bottom. That's the box size model. Okay, that's the reason why we didn't get a padding there. Okay, nice. I'm happy with this. I'm very happy with this. Actually, I'm not. I'm going to say 0.8 because it's actually less than the margin we have above. Okay, so I'm just being nitpicky here. All right, and this is going to look a little bit better. All right, because this is going to have a teeny weeny bit more margin than this. Okay, and I like this more, like this, and yeah, I'd even add less, but we're going to keep it like this for the moment because I don't want to waste too much of your time with silly things. I'm going to say 0.6, 0.6, and 0.6. All right, and we're going to keep it at that. Okay, I'm going to be happy with that. There's no other choice, no other option. I've got to be happy with that. Cool. So now we're just going to put these buttons down here, and we've nearly got it done. Okay, we've nearly finished this. We need to add that sort of extra banner here as well. This one here, but I mean, it's nearly done. So let's add this art to cart and add to cart in this wish list, and then next class we'll absolutely finish it. Okay, so let's go down here and add, and let's style this. That's the tab area. Hey, that's the tab area. This shouldn't be inside the tab area. This should be outside the tab area because it's not in the tab area, is it? It's a different area. Okay, cool. Put this here. That should be the same. Yep. And now we are going to add another div, which is going to be called the buttons. Okay, and these buttons are going to be 2. So button 1 is going to be apply now. Was it? What was it? Add to cart and wish list. Okay, so add to cart. And the next one is going to be wish list. Wish list. Like so. Okay, cool. Cool. There we go. 2 buttons. Cool stuff. And I'm realizing that we could have actually just put everything inside the Peter inside this. So this could have been a whole section. Okay, you can do it. There's many ways you can do things, so it's fine. It's okay. Let's just style these two buttons, and then after next class we'll worry about the nitpicky things that I always think about, because you have to have attention to detail when you're styling, when you're doing CSS and HTML. You have to have a lot of attention to detail. Okay, and another thing we have to do here obviously is add a sort of shadow. Okay, so we can see this, and we have to add a shadow also to this card. Okay, so we can see this all better. Okay, so we can see everything more defined on the borders. Okay, so here if you notice the border isn't that well defined. Okay, and we fix that with just borders. Okay, sorry, with shadow, with border shadow or background shadow. I don't know what it's called. Anyway, we'll focus on that later on. Cool. So we're gonna go to the add to cart and the wish list. Actually, go now. Because I've been rambling on for ages and ages and ages. So buttons. Go to. We can add general styles to these buttons, so we can give it a height of I don't know, 5 rem. Let's see, and a width of, let's say, it's got to be bigger, definitely 8 rem. Okay, that's 80 pixels. That's a lot. 7 rem. Okay. And it has a border anyway, so let's see what they look like. Alright, too big. Why did it only take the first one? Buttons. I should be styling both of them. Did we save everything? Alright, let's add a display flex to this first. Okay, so display flex. I know why it's happening, because I should have said buttons button. Okay, display flex, justify content center, or justify content start. I want it to the left, and align item center. Okay, align item center them vertically in the div, and flex direction is going to be row anyway. And now that width I spoke about, I should add it to the actual each button. Okay, alright, so we should cut this and paste it in here. Alright, like so. Save that. That's it. And cool, we have 2 buttons that are way too big. Okay, so 3 rem here. Let's see what that looks like. That's a cart wish list. We need to give it a bit more width, so 8 rem wasn't that crazy apparently. We need to give it a considerable amount more of width, and actually more height too. So that 5 rem is going to stay there, right? And I'm just going to give it a crazy 12 rem here. See what that looks like. And the height is too big, so we're going to say 4 rem. We're just going to give each button a bit of a spacing. We can also just make this div. We could just say width. Width. Let's say 30%. Okay. Width 30%, and we're going to have to say align self start, and that should work. Alright, that should put it to the left. Let's give this div border so we can see what's happening. So border 1 pixel solid black. Alright, and nice, it's over here, but 30% is way too little. Let's give it 50%. Alright, let's see what these buttons go to. Actually, let's see what the original buttons go to. They span all the way. We should give it a 100% of width, actually, like so. Right? And we should give these buttons also a spacing between them, space between. Okay, so we don't need to do this. Okay, so we're going to delete this actually. Display flex, space between. Okay, hey, space between. There we go. Bam. Save that. Now, yeah, this is better. Not perfect, but better. What can we do to improve this? What can we do to improve this? we could make the buttons a bit bigger, but is that necessary? Maybe a little bit more. Yeah, let's give it a bit. Let's make them a little bit bigger. So these buttons are going to have a width of 14 rem. Okay, let's see what that looks like. I'm happy with that. I'm happy. Cool. So for the first button, all right. So we're going to go. I'm going to say buttons, buttons, button, and the first one. So nth child 1 is going to have a background of green. Okay, background color green. It's not that green, but anyway, and text color of white. All right, and let's select the green we want. Okay, it's going to be a gradient, so it doesn't really matter what green we give it. I'm just going to select the bottom of the gradient. So I'm going to go here, and try and select this bottom part if I can. Okay, because this little button is tiny. Okay, so pick from page. Yeah, it's going to be hard to pick, isn't it? It's going to be hard to find. Where is this button? Okay, that's a green. Okay. It was somewhere around here. Oh, it's good now. It's working now. Cool. So I'm just going to pick the darkest part of it, which is this one, I think. I'm going to go to my green. I'm going to paste it in. Sometimes it just takes time for the page to adapt, and yeah, you get that. It kind of the color picker goes a bit crazy for a while. Cool. Yeah, that's a nice green. Let's see if it's the green we want. Yeah, it's pretty close. We can make it a bit darker, so we can play with the darkness now, basically. So we can say background image like this. Okay, we can do the same thing over here. All right, and let's put it underneath, and then just play with the color. So we can copy this color in twice, and just play with the darkness of it. All right, so let's delete this, paste that in, and paste this in here too. Okay, and I just want to make this one a little bit darker, right? A little bit darker, like so. Okay, I'm going to make this one a little bit lighter, like so. Okay, I'm going to bring it up here. All right, I'm going to see if that works. If that looks good. It looks pretty good, but I'm not too happy with it. I don't even think it has a gradient. This doesn't have a gradient. It doesn't have a gradient, guys. Let's just forget about that. Okay, leave the background color as it is. I don't feel it has a gradient, or maybe it does. I don't know. This bottom part does look a bit darker, but maybe it goes from this green. Maybe it does have a gradient, but it goes from the green we added. Okay, so let's go down here. So a darker green. Okay, from this green to a darker one, maybe. So 1/10 one over here. Let's try that. See how that looks. Yeah, not really satisfied, but oh well. We're not going to spend too much time on this. And this one just looks like it's not clicked. Alright, so we're just going to add like a grey to it. So nth child 2. Alright, we're going to go here. I'm going to say nth child 2. Okay, let's say it's going to be just white, so it's going to have a background. It's not going to be white, it's going to be grey. Color, right, of grey. Yep. And this grey is just going to be lighter, like this. Okay. And the text is going to be white, and let's see what that looks like. No white text. Because I did the same one, right? So 2. Okay, nice. That looks good. Cool. And we're going to give these both a border radius of 1 rem. Okay. And border none. Right. Border none to take away the black border the buttons have. Take the border off here too. And we're going to take borders off now, just to see what we have. Okay. Oh, this is too big. We need 0.5 rem. Not 1. So that's 5 pixels. Okay. Cool. That looks better. So we're going to delete all the borders now. right, and see what we got. I think we've done a pretty good job so far. Okay, so this when things start looking good. This border solid away, away, away. Okay, let's get rid of these ones up here too. This one, bye bye. This one, bye bye. This one, bye bye. And this one, bye bye. And I think with this we are done with most of the styling. Guys, this looks quite close to the original. Okay, this is the original, right? This to me looks pretty close. I don't know what's happened with the centering of this though. It's like it's gone to the left a little bit. I wonder why that is. Let's just check real quick. We positioned this absolutely. Why did we position this absolutely again? Do we need to do that? Top 5 VH, right. Why did we do this? Let's delete this, see what happens. Why did we position that absolutely? Space evenly, space center, right? We need to place this container center like this. Okay, we did something weird here. Can't remember why we did this exactly, but this challenge container obviously needs to display, because okay, so let's just see what we have. Border 1 pixel solid black, like so. Okay, to see what where the border is. Okay, why isn't it showing? Because it's a challenge container. Cool. Yeah. So we need to give this actually border. Right. That's going to show us where that is. Cool. All right. So we need to position this in the center. Okay. And I'm not sure why it isn't in the center already, but we just for that we just need to add a display flex here. Display flex. Justify content center and align item center. Right. That should put everything in the center. I'm not sure why we did a position absolute in the top 5 here. That's weird. And the right, I don't know why we did this. No idea. Just delete that. Okay, and everything should be in the center there. Bam. Okay. And yeah, that's it, man. That's it. I'm just gonna do one last thing. I'm gonna give, because I mean I think we've got quite a good result. We haven't finished it. We'll finish it next class, but I'm going to round these edges, and these edges, and these edges. Okay, so to do that, literally just go to the challenge container, to this page container. Okay, go border radius. Okay, say I don't know what's the radius here. Let's go to the original. Yeah, we're going to say 1 rem. Border radius 1 rem. 1 rem. Okay, we're going to have an overflow probably of the stuff that's inside, so we don't see anything. But if now we say overflow hidden, we should have some nice rounded edges, but we don't. And why is that? Let's add the border again. Let's see what we got. Pixel solid black. All right. Okay, because it's the wrong one. All right, we don't need to do it to this one. Okay, we actually need to go to this. The Nike. So we got the container, the Nike logo, the Nike logo image, the product name. All right, and if you see here, we've got the content there. We've got the title, right? Not here. Page container, right? So Nike logo with the image of the logo, the product name with the Yeezy 2, and then the product card. So we need to go to the product card, right? Product card, and give that a border radius. Okay, border radius of 1 rem, like so. We don't see anything, but if we say now overflow hidden, come on. There we go. Nice. We're going to say 1.5 rem actually. Let's see what that looks like. That looks even closer. All right, that looks good. That looks sexy. All right, nice. So we did quite a good job today. We've done a lot of progress. Yeah, looking good, looking very good. we just need to style this. We'll finish that next class. It'll be a shorter video than this one. This one's gone on for 1 hour. Oh my god, that's too long. And yeah, we'll do that next class. So yeah, as I always say, stay strong and keep coding, and see you in the next one. Ciao.